Here's what's coming up in today's Frontline compilation. 2 guided strikes hit a suspected Russian drone hub in southern Kherson. Watch the follow-up arrive before the dust settles. Fiber optic FPV from Ukraine's 414th UAS Brigade chases a Russian through dense trees near Pokrovsk. He stumbles and the drone closes in. A Russian infantryman raises his rifle at a twin-engine loitering munition sweeping in low. The drone holds range longer than expected, then commits. Tank mines strung across a support. Detonation method stays unclear, but the placement hints at a synchronized blast. This is real footage, no effects, just raw moments from the battlefield. Subscribe to stay updated on every Frontline report, and stick around to see it all unfold. Video from Ukraine's 44th Artillery Brigade shows 2 blast attacks on Russian guns. First, a strike hits a D-30 position. The blast is shown from several drone angles and smoke covers the pit. The view then jumps to a D-20 site. A second strike lands on that gun line and the impact is shown from another angle. Fire and dust rise and no people are visible. There is no gun flipping in the clip, only the hits and the damage they cause. The shots cut between views of the 2 sites. The frame widens, hinting at more targets ahead. Near Kharkiv, reconnaissance video released by Russian sources follows a Ukrainian on a quad bike with a small trailer. He stops at the tree line, stands by the bike, then walks a few steps into thicker trees. The drone keeps him in view for a moment, then switches focus to the parked quad. It dives on the empty bike and trailer, and the blast throws parts into the branches. The soldier turns at the sound, crouches, and moves away through the brush. Smoke hangs over the track while the drone steadies the shot. The feed holds on the area, then starts to scan for a second target. A GUR reconnaissance element moves behind Russian lines, then calls in fires and follows with drones on exposed positions. GUR is Ukraine's main directorate of intelligence, and teams like this work in small groups with tight comms. The footage shows assault troops sliding along tree lines, taking firing positions in shallow foxholes, and marking Russian trenches for strike. Quadcopters drop small munitions into dugouts while FPV drones chase men across short gaps. Artillery brackets bunker mouths, then a second volley lands on a mortar pit. Vehicles try to move and stall under smoke. The footage shows cleared tree lines and fresh craters. A new grid comes up and the guns fire again. Infrared drone video from Russian sources shows 2 unmanned aircraft colliding mid-air over Ukraine. The view opens with a larger bomber-type drone flying steady. A smaller Molniya approaches from the side and lines up head-on. There is no gunfire. The ramming is the weapon. The Molniya clips the target and both machines break apart at once. Hot fragments spin off and fade as they cool. The camera holds on the falling pieces until they drop out of frame. The feed steadies on the empty sky, scanning for another contact. North of Chasiv Yar, multiple drone views show 2 Ukrainian vehicles being hit and destroyed by Russian strikes. From the shapes and fittings, the first looks like a Panzer II recovery vehicle. The second appears to be an M113A3 armored carrier. One clip shows a direct hit and the ARV catching fire. Another angle shows the carrier losing its track and then burning hard. Parts fly into the road and smoke covers the area, each showing more damage and flame. Near Mykolaiv, a Russian Mi-8 helicopter tries to fly away after a hit from a shoulder-fired missile. Filmed by Ukraine's 54th Mechanized Brigade, heat-seeking missiles like Igla or Stinger are usually used at short range, so crews fire flares and climb to keep control. The helicopter banks with smoke behind it, then starts a steep descent to trade speed for a safer landing. The right door looks open as the aircraft yaws through trees and the rotor blades flex. The ground comes up fast and the tail swings wide. In the last seconds, the helicopter drops too quickly to stay airborne. Russian-released drone video shows 3 separate FPV strikes on Ukrainian targets in open ground. First, a lone soldier runs across a field and the drone hits him directly. Next, 3 soldiers take shallow cover along a thin tree line. The pilot tracks them behind low mounds, then drives the FPV into the group. Third, a vehicle moves in the open with a soldier on board. The drone spots them and dives straight into the vehicle. Each strike is shown from close range. Smoke and debris fill the frame after each hit. The camera swings, searching for the next target. Drone video from the 414th UAS Brigade's Wormbusters unit shows a Russian soldier targeted 3 times by FPV drones. The first hit lands close and knocks him down. He moves and tries to crawl to cover. A second drone strikes near him again, kicking up dirt and fragments. He still shows movement. Moments later, a third FPV comes in on the same line and detonates on the man. After the blast, movement stops. The camera circles the area and scans the nearby brush while smoke and dust drift across the frame. Reportedly near Kamyansky, several fixed installations take hits from precision glide bombs delivered by Ukrainian F-16s. JDAM kits convert standard unguided bombs into GPS-guided weapons with circular error typically measured in meters. Winged JDAM-ER variants extend reach to tens of kilometers, letting aircraft release outside many short-range air defenses. The footage shows near-simultaneous detonations on separate points, consistent with pre-planned coordinates loaded via data cartridge. Hard points and trench lines collapse in plumes, leaving square craters and disturbed berms. Without a ground view, exact targets remain unclear. The camera returns to a remaining strong point. Another pair of impacts is cued. An overhead quadcopter follows a Ukrainian soldier carrying a modified 120mm mortar round. He steps to a stairwell and rolls the round nose first into a basement. Standard 120mm high-explosive mortar bombs weigh roughly 14 to 16 kilograms, and in tight rooms, the blast and fragments can bounce back up the stairs. He keeps his body off the rail, sends the round, and pulls clear. Dust and debris burst out of the doorway and spread along the floor. The camera holds on the stairmouth as smoke thickens. When it thins, faint shapes shift deeper inside. In the Pokrovsk sector, Russian FPV drones hit a Ukrainian T-64BV again and again. Flames spread and dark smoke rolls over the position. The hull stays in view while the camera circles for another pass. A new engine whine grows louder. The drone drops lower for the next hit and keep it in place. Footage from Ukraine's 120th Separate Reconnaissance Regiment shows the Special Intelligence Group in a dug-in trench near Pokrovsk. One soldier fires short bursts with a SCAR-16 while the second covers. One soldier throws the grenade into the next bay, then they shift positions along the berm. They keep heads down with steady fire, change angles, and move forward a few meters at a time. Dirt jumps from the parapet with each burst. Short calls and hand signs guide the next move. They swap spots again and push to the next corner, rifles up, watching for movement. At a bunker door in Donetsk, a Ukrainian soldier steps into the open and fires an explosive round at extreme close range. The round detonates on him at the doorway. Dust, dirt, and smoke blast back into the camera, and he falls at the threshold. He does not get up. The doorway stays white and grey for several seconds. No one else appears in the gap. Dust and smoke hang at the doorway. Nothing moves. On a road, a Russian Ural 4320 truck tows a D-30 howitzer. An incendiary strike hits the gun, and in seconds both the howitzer and the truck are burning hard. Flames climb the bed and tow gear while thick smoke pours up. Parts fall off and scatter on the asphalt. At least one crew member is seen on fire beside the vehicles, while another runs away from the truck. Small blasts pop from the load as the fire spreads. The camera stays wide as the heat grows, and the silhouettes of the gun and its split trails turn dark against the smoke. Nothing else moves in the frame. From the 4th Rapid Reaction Brigade Rubizh, a kamikaze drone drives straight into a tight cluster of 3 Russian soldiers. One man shows visible blood before the strike, implying earlier contact. The pilot holds speed, then punches center mass on the group. The feed rolls a fraction longer, searching for movement. Farther up the lane, another shape breaks cover. Across the Bryansk region line, a drone flies along a bridge packed with charges. 15 TM-62 tank mines hang from a center support in a staggered line, set to break the structure instead of just scarring the road. Blowing crossings like this makes it harder for Russia to move food, ammo, and equipment toward the front. The drone finishes its pass and backs away. A bright flash runs across the span, then a chain of fireballs. The support gives way, and the deck drops out of view. Smoke and spray fill the shot as pieces fall past the camera. A helmet camera from Russian sources shows a soldier spotting a Ukrainian loitering drone. He lifts his rifle and fires short bursts while the drone circles above him. It keeps a little distance, slides to one side, and sets up a run. He shifts his aim and fires again, trying to lead it. The drone drops lower, steady in the frame. In the last seconds, he steps forward and shoots once more. The drone dives straight in and a blast jolts the camera sideways. Dust fills the shot and the picture shakes, then steadies just enough to show smoke in the air. Two blasts hit a suspected drone site, one, then another soon after. The first explosion lifts debris and dust, throwing pieces across a yard and over low roofs. The camera stays on the area as smoke builds and small fragments keep falling. A few seconds later, the second blast strikes the same spot, deeper and louder, pushing a thicker cloud into the air and knocking loose more bits and scrap. The view changes between wide and close angles, showing the damage from different sides. The lens holds on the rising haze, waiting on what might come next. This is real footage, no effects, just raw moments from the battlefield. Subscribe to stay updated on every frontline report and stick around to see it all unfold. Let's get into it.